We're going to dive right into it. Apparently, I'm starting a race war in the WNBA.
You've done it again. You've done it again, Charlie.
I have a tendency to start race wars.
There was this placid world where there's the Women's National Basketball Association.
Of course, a bunch of women always get along.
Yeah, women are known for getting along. They live in harmony with one another. They definitely never have beefs or arguments or disputes or rivalries.
Only
or
Charlie Kirk would start.
Only you could do it.
Yes.
WNBA was great. I'm sure all 10 people at their games were having a blast. And then this news story happened. Well, it's been happening for a while, but we can start showing it. You reacted to this hard foul.
No, it was a lot of them, for the record.
Okay, there's a lot of things. So
I'm going to send the one. By the way, this, just for the record, my latest tweet is one of my favorite tweets because I didn't run it by any of you guys. It was just called The Scroll and Let It Fly. And then Andrew learns about it once it's up. But yes, keep going.
Yes. All right. So I think you've had a couple. So the first one we have, let's do, is this loaded yet? 398. So that was called as a violent atrocity on the court. That was Caitlin Clark dribbling, and she sort of brushed her fingertips.
Barely. I don't think she even touched it.
I think we might need a federal investigation to
I
determine
know. I think
truth.
we need a hate crime investigation.
Exactly.
Whether she touched her.
Exactly. And so I
meant the hand, just to be clear. I don't think she even touched her. I mean, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, though, we also have she's getting fouled very aggressively, and so you are also responding to that. Yeah, just brutalized on the court. So we have, fouls get called one way, but not the other way, and it's all getting quite dramatic. And it turns out, really, everything was fine until you stuck your nose into it, Charlie. So what's the headline we have right now? Let me search Charlie Kirk WNBA, as I search every day, but I try to check.
It's in the chat, Blake.
Yeah, let's see. Charlie Kirk turns Caitlin Clark and WNBA referee controversy into race debate.
Race war.
Race war.
So I'm the one who found this article and showed everybody. I found this personally remarkable because the whole Caitlin Clark thing has been nothing but a racial discussion since she got into even when she was in college basketball. It was like, well, of course it has to be a white woman that makes college basketball, women's basketball popular. The entire saga has been about racial dynamics. And then somehow some jerk out there, some ignoramus, says it's Charlie Kirk that turned it into a race debate. So it's truly remarkable feat of journalism.
I just want to repeat what I also tweeted today. Everyone knows what's happening here. They are jealous because she is the best white player and one of the best players in the WNBA. And the WNBA is overwhelmingly black women. And they are targeting her because of this.
And on top of that, what they're really mad about is that she's the first WNBA player in probably about 20 years who's been like a decently popular national
Sue
figure.
Bird was one, right? Who was the other one?
The one who
Candace
she was a big name, and like it's so dumb, frankly, that it became such a racial thing. Because the one I was thinking of was Lisa Leslie. When we were growing up, she was a decently famous person. She got ads on TV.
Caitlin Clark's a whole different level.
And of course, one of the things about it is like Lisa Leslie was a perfectly wholesome woman. True story.
That's why they hate
She took a long time to get married because she had a handful of rules. It was she wanted him to be. She wanted to marry another black guy. She wanted him to be a Christian. And this was the big one. She wanted him to be taller than her. Lisa Leslie was 6'7".
So her kids are going to be very tall.
Probably. I haven't followed up on that. But yeah, and so this all happened. But then they legit got mad that this girl was popular. She was a big deal when she was playing, was it Iowa? I don't watch women's basketball.
She was, you mean Caitlin Clark played for Iowa?
Yeah, and so she was getting all the attention. They were selling out games. It takes a lot.
Leading scorer ever.
Takes a lot to sell out a women's basketball game.
Yeah, it's about at the level of like JV high school basketball.
Well, that's what they're really upset about, is that Caitlin Clark is popular. They're upset that they think they've been carrying this league for so many years, which, by the way, has never been profitable. It's never been a rating success. None of those things have ever been true. But then Caitlin Clark comes around and people are talking about the WNBA, so all the black ladies are mad.
So this was the statement she gave. So remember, you started this war, but this is the statement she gave in December.
Because I sent out one tweet.
In December 2024, they named her Athlete of the Year at Time Magazine. And so she said in her interview, she had to issue this statement. I don't have video of it, so I don't know if there was like a gun pointed at her head or if they were like holding her family hostage. But she said, I want to say I've earned everything, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of the people who have made this league what it is are black women. And you can't see this, but in the article, they're lowercasing white, but capitalizing black, in case you weren't sure, you know, who's good and who's bad here. The more we appreciate, highlight, and talk about that, the better. Brands and companies need to continue investing in those players who have made this league extraordinary. Elevating black women is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, who wrote that for you, first of all?
I mean, it's like a hostage situation, though.
Yeah, like we have to check, like, okay, what were her eyes blinking in a certain way? Like, please don't hurt me. Please don't foul me any harder on the court.
And I think that statement was such an opportunity. I mean, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? We've all learned this years ago that if you have nothing to hide and you have nothing to feel guilty of, don't fake apologize. You don't win anything. Right? It's the people that hate you already are not going to come around and say, oh, look, they apologized. They put out this statement. And then the people that had some respect because you actually stood up and meant something, well, now you've kind of minimized it. Right? It's like some of these comedians, you know, like Bill Burr is kind of going at the complete opposite direction. But when she put out that statement, I mean, I had so much hope for Caitlin being this person that was, she didn't have to be political. She didn't have to be right wing, but don't capitulate to their talking points. And then everybody's mad at you. It's a lose-lose.
I mean, and I just have to say, like, women's basketball is so unwatchable. I'm so it is. It's just such a low level of it's nothing against women. It's nothing. I mean, they're trying their best. It's just it's really hard to watch. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this. When's the last time you checked on your home title? That's the legal proof that you own your house. If you're like me, the answer is never. The problem is, in today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles, and your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee with your county, and boom, your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans using your equity or even sell your property. You won't even know it's happened until you get a collection or a foreclosure notice. That's why you need to stop what you're doing and find out today if you're already a victim. Use my promo code Kirk at HometitleLock.com to make sure your title is still in your name. You'll also get a free title history report plus a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HometitleLock.com now. Use promo code Kirk. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Kirk.
Yeah.
Women's basketball is, we should, guys, you got to pull one of those montages of just like bad WNBA plays. I mean, it's real bad. I mean, and to Charlie's point, it really does look like you're watching like JV basketball. Now, no offense, there's some really good basketball players that are women, Caitlin Clark being one of them, but there are good sports that women play that are actually watchable. Tennis, volleyball. Blake maybe disagrees with me, but just based on the look, there's a few that are actually watchable. I'll stand by that.
Gymnastics is pretty good.
Gymnastics.
I think that high-level Olympic gold medal match women's volleyball, not beach volleyball, actual like volleyball is very good to watch. That is very intense, very high stakes. Balls moving super fast. Like that is very athletic. That's actually. I think, and I actually think it's more watchable than the men's volleyball because the men's volleyball, they are so athletic. The ball, it's like whoever gets the ball has like very high probability just to spike it because they're so athletic. Where women's volleyball,
there must be like insane injuries now.
No, that's right. Don't you agree, Andrew? Like the men's volleyball has no volley. It's just
they're almost too likely to just
totally
kind of side out instantly.
Yes,
and then and whoever's got control of the ball. I actually really agree with that, and it's a little bit more competitive with women's volleyball.
Yes,
but by the way, I remember when the U.S. women's national team was winning World Cups, right? I mean, that was really fun. As a nation, we were really into that, right? Before all the politicization of it.
No, that's true. I remember. I just, women's soccer is fine. I mean, it's not my favorite to watch.
Women's tennis,
but there's something
is
about
watchable.
women's basketball where it's such an aesthetic drop off. I don't mean aesthetic in a bad way, but it's such a visual drop off from the pace and the passing
skill.
and the shooting and the skill of men's basketball. It's like your brain can't process it. You know, it's so different. You're like, okay, this is sophomore boys basketball, and basically,
why do you guys like? I actually enjoy college women's basketball. I feel like so much more than I do pro. I'm still not saying I prefer women's basketball over men's, but like, what do you think the drop off is once? I mean, do you guys disagree with that? Like, can you watch the Final Four on the women's side? Like, I look at that as a completely different ball game than I mean, look at these montages. Like, I watch these for fun. They are so horrific. I don't know how anybody could pay money to be at these games.
Well, people tend to not pay money to be at those games, which is why it's been kind of a failure of a league. And Caitlin Clark's the best thing they have going for it. I don't know what it is about basketball.
She makes shots that men couldn't make.
Oh, yeah.
But also, guys, remember, sorry, you keep going, Andrew, and then I have a point.
Well, I just don't understand. I don't know what it is specifically about the sport of basketball that tends to make the female form look uncomfortable. Now, I think, candidly, I think you watch Caitlin Clark, and she looks kind of like
she's
a dude
balling
on the basketball
court. Look at that. That right there, that's legit.
Yeah,
but
she does. But there's something specific about that. I actually really enjoy female college softball. I had some friends that got me into it.
More watchable than I thought when I was working out.
No, and they do these cheers, and it's really
I think you're
fun.
right. I actually think. I mean, softball is not. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but. You know,
I'm going to get in some trouble with our audience potentially on this, but female UFC fights, I know that's like complicated. Dude, those women are amazing. Like some of those fights are incredible. Whether or not you want your daughter to be doing that, that's a whole other topic. But just pure entertainment value, those fights are incredible. This is like nothing about, for whatever reason though, basketball is just not the female domain, in my opinion.
Well, remember also, the women's basketball uses a smaller basketball than men. I mean, it's literally a different sport. I mean, where the ball is 28.5 inches, where the men's ball is much bigger than that. And I was just trying to think of other sports that I don't watch any of them, but that are more watchable than female basketball.
Golf?
No, I don't watch golf.
Nah, I can't watch
You know what we
women's
should
golf
bring
either.
back? Did you know there used to be like an alternative basketball for women?
Wasn't it like 6-on-6?
It was 6-on-6, and it was very strange. Like you had 3 forwards and 3 defenders, and only like the forward people could shoot. And then there was all this bizarre stuff. I think you like couldn't dribble as much, something like that. It was all.
We have to talk about how can we change the game to make it entertaining. Tells you how not entertaining it is.
I guess gymnastics. I'd actually prefer watching women gymnastics than men's gymnastics.
Really though, like men's gymnastics is really impressive.
I have to think about that. No, I think you're probably well.
It's pretty watchable.
I would
People
say
love
women's
watching it for the
gymnastics
Olympics.
I would say it's pretty watchable though. I'd say women's gymnastics is
It
pretty.
rates on the Olympics. It rates during the Olympics.
And I'll also say that women's track and field is watchable.
Yep, I agree. Women's figure skating.
Yeah, for sure. I actually think it's more watchable than men's figure skating. It's just way too.
There's something about tight pants.
I'm going to say
too
men's
feminine.
figure skating is very San Francisco.
Yeah,
I suppose so. It's usually pairs, isn't it? That's the main.
It's culturally very.
Culturally, it's a cultural issue.
Let's just say it's not exactly. You know what I mean. I guess that also women's swimming. I mean, that's fine to watch. Like Katie Ledecky was fun to watch during the Olympics.
it's just fun to watch your country win in the Olympics. But like, if you wouldn't sit down and watch like on a Saturday.
No, but I tried to watch the women's like gold medal match in basketball, which I think we won. It was like, wow, that was hard to watch. Like, woof. It's just.
I'm surprised you spent time doing that, Charlie.
Well,
That's
I like
actually-
the Olympics. I love it. I watched it for about 45 seconds, and then I went and did something more.
He was prepping to get this race war started, doing his research.
Apparently, it's all my fault. So Blake, what would you say to someone that says? Because I got some mean tweets from people. Oh yeah, they really care. It's not racial against Caitlin Clark. Come on.
There's other white women in the NBA or WNBA.
I mean, all I would say is I don't think we were the first ones to start like using the W word or the B word in relation to this. Like there really is a thing where you started getting these articles like while she was still in college about people just bothered that she was getting too much attention or that it was like they would use the language like colonialism. They were like, how this like white person is colonizing our league. Like they have ownership of this sport. And like that is where so much of this came from. Now, and then like other elements where like they were mad. Oh, they're promoting Caitlin Clark because she like is like more clean cut. Like she has a boyfriend, so she's not a lesbian like a lot of the players in the WNBA are. I think she's Catholic or like public. Like she has a good image basically. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, leagues do better when they have people who have like positive like images that are like families like it.
Give me an idea.
Like, make your daughter like Caitlin Clark.
Do you know 26% of the WNBA is openly lesbian?
That is a very high rate. That
cannot be true.
It is. No,
what percent?
Right here. 26%.
That means it's probably closer to like 35 or 40% in real life.
Now, and here's the other one. According to InnerBasket.com, they say it's between 30 to 58%.
See?
That's like a very wide range.
It's because they're approximating.
It's still high.
Yeah, I don't think they send out surveys.
Well, why not? We should collect more data on that. We should just be like, oh, you gotta every time if you enter the WNBA, you have to answer a million questions.
Remember when Brittany
sort of
Griner, who got released from prison thanks to Trump, appeared to call
Biden?
Well, was it Biden or Trump?
Yeah, it was Biden.
Oh,
we
Trump-
traded
Trump
some
got out the
massive
mellow
international
people. Yeah,
terrorists for
that's
for
right.
her. Yeah.
She called Caitlin Clark effing white girl.
Called,
Could you imagine?
called trash and
I
effing
feel
white
like,
girl.
yeah, if someone said effing black girl about a player in the WNBA,
We would have Minneapolis burn.
yeah, like Minneapolis would burn. It would be the #1 news story. That
Correct.
person would be deleted off the face of the planet.
And there would be a federal hate crime investigation.
quite possibly, yeah.
Really.
Especially under Biden, like we'd get one of those like civil rights cases where they would like go into the entire WNBA and find how there was like systemic discrimination that led to this outcome, which is actually circling back around. That's how that 6-on-6 basketball went away. It didn't go away because people like organically didn't like it. It went away because activists were mad and they got, I'm not making this up, the Office of Civil Rights at either the DOJ or the Department of Education to say it was a violation of Title IX to have girls play this sport because they were less likely to get a scholarship for basketball at the college level.
Unbelievable.
So like they've been, if it helps, they've been inventing extremely deranged and insane civil rights justifications for everything they want to do for half a century.
Well, Blake, I have a question for you. Why is the WNBA still afloat? Like, who's covering the losses?
I think they're a subsidiary of the NBA. Like there's a direct relationship between the two.
Let me chat on this. So there was this great article written in 2018 by an activist, Tho Bishop, and he got just destroyed for it. It was why WNBA players are overpaid, right? And this is 18, right? Like this is, before like we got our country back. I mean, that was, we had Trump in the White House, but like the woke was really coming on. And it's just funny because, he details, listen, the NBA is just paying these people, right? If you look at the revenue that comes in, it's not just that they take a loss. It's that the NBA just doesn't want to deal with the pushback from the activists. And so they just float the bill for this. I mean, there's a reason they never take the camera angle and take it to the crowd. I mean, look at the angles on those games. It's like Congress, right? They keep the angles so you can't see you're in an empty room. But the NBA is paying for all of this.
So because according to this, the revenue for the WNBA was $200 million in 2023. It's now $710 million, and it will break $1 billion this year because of Caitlin Clark. She has contributed to a 48% increase in attendance and record-breaking TV ratings.
You know how people say that like they don't recognize the country they live in due to like social changes or immigration or whatever? That's how I feel when I hear a story like that.
Could you imagine sitting at home and voluntarily watching the WNBA?
There's a question I like to ask, which is...
And not having a relative.
I like to ask people this. Would you rather find a $2 bill on the sidewalk or have your local WNBA team win a title?
I don't know my local WNBA team.
That is the correct answer. Is I don't know if iTown has a WNBA team.
I don't even wait. Hold on, let me see. What is Phoenix WNBA team? Probably some weird name like the Cactus or something, or the Sky, the Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury. Okay.
They're off
Do you
to
say
a
it Mercury?
yeah, Mercury.
There you go.
They're off to a 4-1 record, despite the absence of key player Kalia Copper.
Is that true, or could that be like a hallucination by an AI?
It could be. I don't know.
You know what I think? This is a case of you have a small pond, right? And all these big time stars before Caitlin gets there, they want a big pond, right? They want this huge. She brings them the big pond. They're still a small fish. I mean, it's just a total, backlash to that.
So what do? You foul her hard.
Did you know that?
You call her white trash.
There's only 13 teams.
That bothers me because it's like not even.
I kind of love how feminine they've chose these names. They're like not that. You know how in the men it's like the Golden State Warriors or the Timberwolves. Let's listen to some of these. The Atlanta Dream, the Chicago Sky, the Connecticut Sun. You ready for an intense one? The Indiana Fever, New York Liberty, the Washington Mystics. Here we go. The Dallas Wings, the Las Vegas Aces, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Knew that
Blake, I will give you $100 if you get the name the Minnesota WNBA team.
You know what's going to be really terrible? I do know the Minnesota WNBA
No, what is
team.
it?
Minnesota Lynx.
Sorry, I'll give you $100. Why
I know
do you,
Seattle.
I did this to humiliate you.
Because I.
Now, how dare you know
because
this?
being a dork, I would read the newspaper every day growing up, and I would check they had like this big detailed sports thing, and I knew I would look at what the frickin'
You should have said.
thing.
See, you want money more than you want your,
I know
your honor.
This is shameful. I have.
Isn't it Seattle
myself.
Storm? That's a pretty good one.
Yes, but just for the record, Blake could have pretended like he didn't know, but he wanted that $100.
I did.
Then the Seattle Storm, and then the Golden State Valkyries.
You see, if you'd asked me that one, I wouldn't have known.
I asked you Minnesota.
Valkyries is
I've
a
never
pretty
heard
good
of that.
women's sports team.
That's
name,
good, but I
it's
mean,
it is a women thing that is cool.
But Atlanta Dream.
Atlanta Dream. That
Philadelphia is not on the list. I don't know the answer. You tell me they're not listed.
is it Seoul? Is it Seoul? That sounds
No,
like
that's
what they would.
our,
They don't have one.
They don't have one. Okay.
No.
Lucky you.
But the Connecticut Sun.
Connecticut Sun.
It's like the least sunny place.
As opposed to the Phoenix Suns, which is plural
I know,
and
it's
therefore
just
cool.
the Sun. They're just like one thing. They're the
One
Sun.
sun.
Tonight we're gonna go watch the Sun play. How awful is that?
That's like a thing they do now. Like in the NHL, the two new teams they added the Seattle Kraken, not Krakens, just Kraken. And then now Salt Lake they actually got the Phoenix Coyotes team that they disbanded. And they're just Mammoth. They're the Utah Mammoth.
So maybe I'm wrong because I was a huge Blackhawks fan growing up. Has the NHL popularity gone down? I think it has. I mean, I was really into the NHL because it was huge. I mean, the Blackhawks fever took over, and we won 3 Stanley Cups, and it was incredible. But I feel like the NHL has gone down too.
It's actually done okay. What's happened is, I remember growing up, they were really bad in the Sun Belt, and now they've kind of gotten over that. So, for example, in Tampa, the Tampa Bay baseball team does pretty horribly in terms of attendance. The Tampa Bay Bucks are at the low end of like NFL team popularity, but the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is their NHL team,
very popular,
sells out their games, has won titles. They do pretty well, and that's kind of been who's dominating because I think the Nashville team does well, and I think there's also one in Miami, and and the Carolina one, they've all done really well. In fact, pretty much the only Sun Belt hockey team that was a dumpster fire and nobody liked going to them was our team.
Oh, really?
So,
yep, they folded and
Yeah.
they moved to Utah.
Yeah, they
so
officially
Charlie,
moved,
you're right though. Regular season games like viewership were about 500,000 in 2014 to 2015, and they've dropped to 385,000 between 2019 2020. This article's from 2023, and it's changes in media consumption, regionalization of NHL broadcast, low scoring, lack of star power, and they say COVID-19 impact.
Yeah, let me tell you why it's also dropping. I'm a season ticket holder for the Flyers, and they're horrible, so I don't usually admit that in public. But I've had them for 3 or 4 years, and I actually just dropped them because after we won the election, hockey, which, if you look at the demographics, I mean, in most of the cities, the people that are coming, it's a pretty conservative crowd. I mean, some cities, it's just not going to be because of the cities, but it's pretty red. And after we won the election, Gritty, our great mascot, goes on ice with a trans flag, like during Pride Day. And it was just like so tone deaf. And I like flipped out I'm like, look, I'm paying all this money. I had an activist with me who's obviously right wing. And we're sitting there like having to deal with this. I think they're like one of the last leagues. Oh, they're moving slowly, some of them, but like they just double down and don't understand their audience. It's pretty bad.
And it really just kind of goes to show how popular football is. I mean, it just dwarfs these other sports. I mean, it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm told the Thunder are in the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like Russell Westbrook?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone now. I think he's still in the league, but he's not with the.
Is Kevin Durant on the Thunder?
No, you're way out of date, man. I don't even know where Durant is. Isn't he on the?
Wait.
He's on the Suns, isn't he?
I stopped watching 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Charlie. You're about 10 years out.
Yeah.
I can't name a single NBA player on the Thunder.
Yeah. Okay. I want to respond. Patty Luke in our chat says nothing like 4 men who don't play sports going after the WNBA. You guys have no business bashing these women who would clean your clocks if you had
For the record, let me just tell you, if I could get my back fixed, which I'm very hopeful I have a procedure, I could beat some WNBA players one-on-one. Not all. I could. I could challenge the bottom 25% of WNBA players. The bottom 25%. If I could get my back fixed and I have 3 months of proper preparation, I could beat them one-on-one. You think I'm joking? I'm 6'5". I played competitive Midwest AAU basketball. I
was really good at basketball too, by the way.
Yeah,
just
and like
for the record,
again, I'm taller than the bottom 25%. If I have the problem is my back is a complete, and you guys know, you could attest to me, my back is a catastrophe.
Now, what I would say,
CK, the internet used to think you were only 6'1". Glad we got that.
We fixed
clarified.
that problem. Okay. Actually, you know what, Daisy, if you go to my Instagram like 7 or 8 years ago, there's all these trick. You know, I used to do trick shots on Instagram.
I've seen the reel.
Yeah, right.
There was like a montage.
Yeah, no, not just the high school ones. I used to do like trick shots where I would just do half court shots and make it on the first attempt. Dave,
Well,
if you we should play some. Go ahead, yeah.
And by the way, I'm not trying to but dear Patty, I mean, I was a first team All-State football player.
Boom. Here we go.
Yeah, like I don't go around saying that, but if she's
I
gonna
need
come
the
at
Andrew
me, bro,
Colvette. I need the highlight reel of Colvette.
yeah. And
I did have one, but I'm, it's I don't know what happened to
Did
it,
you guys
but,
win state?
We runner up in state.
Why didn't you play college football?
I actually went out for one day. It's complicated.
At
I went out for
UW?
one day though at UW
You could have
open
walked
field.
on.
No, the coaches found out. Like, I didn't actually think I was going to play in college. I had no desire, but they found it on my sort of application or whatever, and they invited me out for an open field day. And it was like, I forget the guy's name. It was Isaiah something or other. Anyways, he was like a 5-star recruit. He's a wideout. And like, he happened to be out there one day, and I got lined up beside him, and I was playing cornerback. And the guy just flew by me by about, 10 miles per hour faster than me. And I was just like, yeah, it's not going to happen. What's the point? Like what's the point? But
yeah, until
high school level, I was good.
She's striking out. I was a collegiate golfer. I never talk about that. Might have been D2. Might have got a couple $1,000, but yeah, we're not talking to no athletes here.
Yeah, and
by
Blake
the way,
can bench like 300 pounds. Patty, little known fact: Blake can actually bench with the best of them.
It's true. Blake
do like
has.
that.
He lasted longer than Shane Gillis. He lasted 2 hours on the Notre Dame football team. Or excuse me, was it West Point? He wanted to go to Notre Dame, but he lasted 2 hours on the football team and quit college.
But yeah, anyway, even if we couldn't beat the WNBA players, it is noteworthy that we don't have the NBA subsidizing us for millions of dollars a year.
Correct.
To go play basketball.
And
We justify our own existence here.
yes, and yes, we are self-sustainable, and so
I do think we should make this happen, though. We should probably. We're gonna get your back fixed.
I gotta get my
and
back
then
surgery done.
We have to go find
and then I need 3 months to prepare.
and then we find someone recently cut from a WNBA team. Maybe.
Yes, and I will pay her a ton of money just to do it, and we'll film it, and we'll see if I win.
So what will we do if
I lose,
I don't want to. I don't
Then
want to say it's
fine.
likely, but what if we lose bad?
I mean, again,
Who did?
I'm 6'5". I'm not going to lose bad. Okay.